All right. So I just want to do kind of a quick suggestion about keys and chests in Norroth Online. It's been a topic of recent discussion amongst the player base, especially when talking about drop rates of these valuable rewards. It was brought up that keys, which are required to open up these chests, and are also used in unlocking the boss dungeons, aren't really dropping that often from the mobs, the way they were, 4, 5, 6 months ago. I think it was when the Laurel store was introduced. I've asked it a couple times. It wasn't really given a clear answer as to when the change happened, but that's my strong suspicion. Typically, these keys dropped when you fight the 1-star, 2-star, 3-star mobs, and they were there pretty consistently. Instead, what we often get are these treasure chests. And what has been brought up recently, acknowledged by the dev, is that perhaps we have too many chests. And so I was thinking about that because it feels counterintuitive to actually reduce the amount of treasure chests instead of increasing the quantity of keys. Now, I don't know why this isn't necessarily discussed anymore. Ideas are now anonymous. Bug tickets are now completely outside of Discord. So I don't really know where the discussion around any of these ideas happens anymore. But I wanted to throw out a couple of thoughts here. The first thing is the reward system inside Norroth is pretty much the same no matter what you do. So you see for this strong box that I open, I can get some spirit essence, which is practically worthless. This stuff is sold in mass to shopkeepers because every single gathering skill will give you spirit essence. The next thing is bronze. Again, I don't know why that's in the strong box. That's fine. The rare token, the tokens are nice. The dice are nice. At this point, the random item is a bit of a nuisance. And I'm just gonna show you again what my backpack looks like. I mean, this is stuff I've been getting doing the boss down here. I'm getting these tokens just by playing the game. And I'm getting some of these other charms by playing the game, and I've got a backpack full of items. And I guess that's a part 2 about talking about why are we getting items, and I'll save that. I don't think we should. I don't think we should be getting items from these chests. At least not randomly generated items. I think the tokens are great. I think the dice are great. Those already drop. So what I guess I'm trying to understand here, that this item was deemed so valuable we need apparently less of it. Every time I complete a daily, I essentially get it's opening a strong box. I'm getting an item or 2. I'm getting tokens or 2. I'm getting dice. I'm getting all these. I get more from completing the quest than I do from opening the strong box. If I complete something from the if I pick up a party popper, I'm getting stuff. If I pick up a tear fragment, I'm getting stuff. And it feels like I'm opening up the strong box kind of no matter what is going on in the game. I'm getting the same sort of reward from everything. There doesn't seem to feel like a unique drop table from fighting any particular type of monster in any particular type of area. And I guess what I'm driving at is the strongbox doesn't feel that unique. it doesn't feel like it's actually worth these keys. Um, I'm getting so much. Yeah, so I guess this is where kind of the point I'm trying to drive at here is we have an opportunity. The game has an opportunity to reward the player. It is fun to open up treasure chests, right? It's fun to open that up and see what you've won. Um, and what I would suggest is, first off, I know several things have been polled to try to get what the players' feedback is. I don't know that there's a poll about should we decrease the amount of chests in the game, right? I don't know that. I mean, I'll be honest. I really don't think that's a thing players want. Um, I would like to see an increase of keys, and the typical response is, "Oh well, you can buy them from the store." And I'll tell you something that is really fun doing. I love grinding on my dailies to earn a currency to buy keys to then open up a treasure chest that is worth less. Like every time I'm doing this conversion, I'm actually losing value, right? The laurels themselves are worth the most. To convert them to keys is actually a step down, and then to convert those keys to essentially what this currently offers feels pretty low. For like the relic, for example, the relic requires five keys to open. A copper key, gosh, and this is at the copper level, right? A copper key is 40, what is it, like 40 achievement points? So that's 200 achievement points just to get enough keys to open it up. The relic token is only worth 110, right? And I'm not sure what the dice is worth, but that's essentially what you're getting. That relic is 110, and the dice is also worth 10. Yeah, so cool. So you convert 200 achievement points in those keys for 220. Okay, cool. So you've netted something there. Um, and that's only for copper, right? You immediately lose value if it was a mithril key, right? Because you would need 5 mithrils, so that'd be 1,000 achievement points for again 220 value. So that, I'm just trying to point that out. Like we're not, if if you really want to make these things worth it to the player, that math needs to even itself out so that it really feels worth it. If you're going to make these more scarce, if we're going to have less of these in the game, I mean, people aren't opening them up now. I don't know that increasing scarcity is going to help the game. I think you really got to ask the question, what is fun to do in this game? What is fun? And I would ask the players, is it fun to open up treasure chests? When you get a treasure chest, right? Is it fun to wonder, well, what's inside, right? And I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm honestly like, you could just take it out. Maybe take it out completely. Unfortunately, this is not how I thought this video would go, because I'm getting the most valuable drops that are inside these chests. I'm getting here. You can see how many tokens I have, as well as dice, and those didn't cost me additional keys to open up these chests. And you're gonna say, wait, what about this random item? What if that's an amazing item? And the truth is, I feel like it's very counterintuitive to reward items. I do a daily, I get an item. I do a star mob, I get an item or whatever. The unfortunate part here is that it is discouraging me from crafting equipment. Like, why should I? I have inventories full of equipment that the game is giving me. I can't go hunting for more than half an hour without my entire inventory filled up with equipment drops. Why should I do any crafting? And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get down on the system. I'm trying to get to the point of, I think crafting can be very fun. I think one of the most entertaining things I did, and I did it on stream, and it was fun because in this particular stream, I actually had people from like 3 other games watching me do this. But it was when I wanted to push my crafting tools to relic rarity. And what I needed tokens. Oh, and then I made a set of gear with some sockets. So I needed some dice. And this was fun to do in front of people. And what I needed was a lot of tokens, and I needed dice, and I needed of all those tiers. And, as you push it up from the magic to the epic to the legendary to the relic, that was a lot of fun. That's that RNG kind of good feeling thing. But I think what would be more fun for the players is if they could craft their gear, and then you gave them ample resources to then focus on re-rolling the stats or increasing the quality. I think that's very fulfilling when you say, hey, I have a piece of gear and I'd like it to be a little bit better. There's a pretty robust system in this game for we'll just switch for a second. There's a pretty robust system in the game for increasing the rarity and re-rolling the stats, and I think if more people used it, it would be quite, I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like that sort of gamble, that sort of fun is there. I think right, if you had these resources, they were more plentiful, or with the re-rolling attributes, or even here with the refining, right? And you need those safety tokens because you don't want to lose the item. I don't know that giving players all of this, dozens of pieces of pre-crafted equipment, usually of terrible quality. And that's going off my own experience of like almost every single tool I've ever gotten as a drop is something like 20 quality, 40 quality. Like, it's just terrible. And so what we do is just immediately salvage it. And then that fills up the backpack even more. I would just say, do away with rewarding equipment. I don't know. I mean, poll the players. Poll the players. Should we be getting equipment as a drop, or should we be getting more components that enhance the crafting skills that we've put into the game, right? More safety tokens, more safety tokens, maybe some more little boosts, maybe again more rarity tokens and dice, right? Drive people towards leveling up the crafting skills and have the rewards from the mobs, from the treasure chests, be those like second phase items that we then use after the item is crafted to enhance it. And I think if we got more of those, now we can start to have a conversation about that treasure chest being worth it. Now I'm exchanging keys for something I do consider more valuable, right? That copper, right now, achievement point wise, and we could look at Norroth coins as well. Achievement point wise, it's taking 200 keys for 220 in value, and that's the only one in which there's a slight cost, because the moment you move up to the iron level, it's an immediate loss of keys to the Dyson Ruin. And the token, and the reason, and I'm just gonna say here, let's even open up a Mithra one for a second, or just look at it, because I bet this one's still gonna reward as bronze. Yeah, This one is rewarding bronze. Like this, like I don't these first two. Like at this point, this should be gold. This should be gold. Wait, oh this is iron, but still iron rewarding that. That's weird. Hold on, iron descendant. This one's mithril. Okay, let's take a look at mithril. Here we go. It's still the same, right? It's still the same. At this point, that mithril key is 200 achievement points. It's going to give me, the magic version of these, which, if we just look at this, one mithril key is 200 achievement points. A magic token is 5. A magic dice is 5. And so these are the things that the players are going to see, the players are going to perceive. We want to make sure players don't feel cheated or that they're at a loss or that they actually regret something as fundamental as opening up a treasure chest in your game. Right? We want to design these rewards in which the player is excited to get a chest. They're excited to get a key. They're excited of that moment that you can put these two things together and get a greater reward. So I would say think on this. Think on perhaps, what do you say? Make the chests really rare, but only drop goblin gear without the need of a key. Just right here. One of the coolest things I saw was at the beginning of the year, people were grinding for the mithril chests and the mithril keys because there was equipment that only came from the mithril chests, and I believe they still do. I don't think it's been taken out, but that top tier goblin gear, right, and only come for those chests. And to be fair, I would say the goblin gear at every tier is good enough that perhaps it shouldn't be craftable, or rather than remove something that's already craftable, I would implore you, create a set of gear that can only come out of the chests, right? Right now, it feels like, and I'm going to say it again, because that's just how my speech pattern works. I do a daily, it's like opening up the strongbox. I get the same sort of loot as I do for, I guess, like the quest pouches and stuff like that. It all feels like the same stuff. I get a token, I get a dice, I get some random generated equipment. Have the strongbox feel like, hey, there's something unique in these strongboxes. And I think now the players will start to get that sensation that there's something more valuable in there. I would implore you not to put less into the game. Don't do less strong boxes. Don't do less keys. I think you take a look at again, I would say talk to the players, and I would say talk to more than just the same couple of players. There's definitely some items in here that I think would be pretty cool, pretty valuable, that you can get from these strong boxes. And rather than throw everything into an achievement store, I mean, you've got an achievement store here where the Laurel store and the premium store, they look nearly identical. There's other sorts of things you could do. How about like a one-time charm that just added 10 magic find to a gem, right? One enhancement that did something like that, right? Like, I've already crafted a good gem, and now here's that rare one-time use charm, kind of, not like a safety charm. I mean, I guess sort of like it's a one-time use, but you can enhance something, right? You could do it for any attribute that was on a piece of armor or a weapon, right? And whether it's attack, whether it's poison, whether it's a damage reduction, any of these things. Right now, I've just introduced 12 new types of charms that only drop from maybe star mobs or only come from from strong boxes, right? Um, and then I feel like you will get people out there grinding for these particular things. But if you're going to put them in the strong boxes, you also need to introduce more keys. So you could either back away from it completely, because again, there's nothing in the strong boxes that you don't get already. We already get gear, we already get the tokens. So I would say either do away with it or up the keys. Because I don't know that I would ever recommend to anyone that they open up their strong boxes. And that's not me just like being rude. That's me doing the math. And I think we, be honest. Like a lot of people, they recommend combining the chests, because the chests do combine, what is it, like 3 to 1 to increase the rarity. Cool. So you're only opening it up at the relic level. Great. That's your best chance for any sort of value out of these chests, but you only get value out of it at the copper level. Everything else, you're actually better off selling the keys and exchanging them. Like exchange them with anyone. um you're better off exchanging it. But anyway, that's just gonna wrap up this section. I would say, talk to the players, ask them what it felt like when you released tier 5, and for a second there was a set of gear that could only be couldn't be crafted. And I think it led to a lot of grinding, a lot of active play, which is exactly what I feel like this game wants. uh, and I think that was probably pretty rewarding. I know people were, I mean, you want to talk about stimulating the market. Mithril keys and mithril chests were at an all-time high for being purchased, right? Because people wanted that gear, and it's something everyone is going to want, because the magic find is very good. The second part of this I want to mention was again the crafting. I think there should be a decrease on just the randomly generated gear. If gear is going to drop for mobs, let it be better gear. Like set a minimum quality, or maybe a new attribute that only drops from dropped gear. In my opinion, it drop more resources that can be used in crafting than gear itself. If you drop more ingredients, you create. I guess here's the point. From a microtransactional point of view, you actually want people buying a second or third character to unlock all the progression, all the professions. What I'm understanding is that if I just grind at combat, I don't need to level any profession, because I'm just going to get all the gear of all sorts of rarities. And I think that's counterintuitive to what you actually want in this game. I think grinding should give you stuff that should make a player go, oh, I'm collecting quite a bit of this. How do I make use of it? Okay. Oh, I need to learn how to do alchemy. I need to learn how to do whatever. And perhaps there's something from a potion, or something for blacksmithing, or something like a resource that doesn't come from gathering. Just not like an entire tier's worth, but just an item here or there, right? Like we only do cartography with and cartography is actually pretty cool, because you can get the scrolls from either hide, right, from leather, or from the paper, right? And that right there is pretty cool. So I can hunt to get all that stuff first farming. That's well done. But now I have to do wood cutting for the ink. Yeah, but what if I could write a scroll in blood, for example, right? What if I could collect a certain creature's blood, make a blood ink, right? I don't need to do wood cutting, but I can and maybe that's an interesting type of spell, or an interesting type of potion, right? All the potions are done by seeds. So I'm just throwing out a couple more ideas here to get away from dropping completed items that, and look at your statistics, right? Let's talk about data. How many items that are dropped are like instantly salvaged because people don't want them or don't need them? I think most people, and again, talk to the players, are people literally out there grinding for drops, for gear, or have they already crafted their gear and now they're out there trying to grind for keys or experience or tokens or dice, right? So I think some realignment on what is being rewarded here will make these things feel more valuable. So anyway, that's just my thought. Increase the frequency of drops, change it up so that there are certain things that can only be gotten by active play. Yeah, and that's my suggestion for today. Thank you.